like this one, for example, in the interest of objectivity, as my left wide forward, who I like very much, Anderson, comes in for a challenge, doesn't get the ball, and his foot goes through the opposition player. I think while I've paused the game, I'm going to show you the stats for the teams on the team sheet, so you can get an idea of just what kind of rubbish side West Bromwich Albion are compared to my Leeds United team. So basically there, studs up from Felipe Anderson, should be a foul, should be a free kick. It doesn't happen. Their player does react to that. So we'll show him reacting. There you go, he is affected. I'm not sure if he's affected by the boot going through him or being affected by running into Anderson. But he is affected. No free kick, no yellow card for West Bromwich Albion. And I'll show you the overall ratings of players, and that's what I'm talking about. At the right back for West Bromwich Albion down there, you've got Jay Granados, who has an overall rating of 57. And you've got Chester at centre back and Di Nicola left back, and a cluster of midfielders, McLean, Gardner and Morrison, who are in the 60s in their overall rating, along with the goalkeeper Lindgaard. And then you've got some in the 70s, City, I think that's how you pronounce it, probably all wrong, and Nabri, so a centre back and a right winger, and Rondon, the centre forward in the 70s, and then in the 80s you've got Origi. Their bench isn't particularly that strong either. A cluster of players in the 60s and only one in the 70s, which is Farmy. So that's the team, the overall rating, teamwork of West Bromwich Albion there. You can see he's 86. For my Leeds United team, a familiar 4-1-3-2 setup that I do like to play in pairs. Van der Hart rated 80 overall, Gosling rated 80, Barnes rated 84, very good defender, Stankovic rated 81, Kekul, very good defender, rated 79, Rabiot on a charge at the minute, 79 rating overall, Berardi rated 84 with Anderson 83 on the left and Sanson at 83, Semenov at 83 and Diego Rubio at 85, and Diego Rubio is a very good striker. And on the bench, a very strong bench, and this is only my bench. The defender doesn't touch the football. Felipe Anderson does have his foot up to the ball to try and control first, and their defender just kicks him. Plain and simple. Edge of the day, Felipe Anderson reacts, and that's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about with when my players kick through theirs, like for example in the Ridge County, in the Rifton United Ridge County final, my player kicked through theirs and their player didn't react. At this moment in time, I won't be able to use Anderson. The game will deselect him because he's reacting to the foul. So in the interest of objectivity, we saw the instance where Felipe Anderson's foot went through the West Brom player earlier, and their player was able to pass the ball. At this occasion, their player hasn't touched the football, is given Felipe Anderson a good clatter. I can't use Felipe Anderson now. As you can see, the game has completely stopped him. There's no input that I can get to get him going, and I don't have any option to shoot or pass, as their player, who didn't even touch the football, gets away uncarded. And don't forget, as I've shown you on the game plan, the strength of the two teams. So everything has to be taken into account of objectivity. I don't think I think it's going to be best for me, if I'm going to do this, not to give my personal opinion on it. Just show it as it is, and just show PES is broken. You know my opinion anyway if you've watched my Ridge County playthroughs. That's absolutely blatant. My opinion of how the game is structured, and I've played a lot of this game. You know, on you know the top difficulty settings, I've played a lot of it. Trust me. Well, he hasn't gone through the back of their player here. Their player's in a shooting animation, and Stankovic puts out his left foot to the ball to try and take control of the ball while he's in that animation. The animation, the shooting animation, I've showed this with my players over the time that I've been playing. The shooting animation has to be carried through. It has to be completed. You can't cancel that. Once the animation kicks in, Stankovic gets to the ball. Origi kicks Stankovic because he's shooting, and Stankovic is able to take control of the ball despite Origi's foot coming around, and it's forced to miss the ball as the physics on the ball kind of stop dead from the momentum, stops dead from Stankovic, his toe touching the ball as it, you know, decides that his foot's going to be around the side, but his foot's kind of into the football. So Stankovic defends the situation in that fashion, as the game decides that Stankovic has defended that situation in that fashion. And here, Studs onto the football. So Studs first, as Gosling is trying to control the ball away, responding to my input to try and turn away from the man. But the foot's connected with Gosling first, or the legs, the back of the ankle and the leg have, before the football. Gosling's foot through the ball as the game decides, and his foot through the ball as the game program overrides my team's possession of the football and decides that their player has possession of the football. The ball falling for West Brom there. And away they go, having the game program having decided that they've defended that situation. This is really odd. As the ball comes to Kekul, I'm not pushing any of the buttons on the PlayStation pad. The only thing I'm doing is moving the stick in a direction to try and, the left stick in a direction to try and control Kekul and turn the ball. I haven't initiated any pass. I'm just using the left stick here. I don't understand this. I've seen it a few times where the ball will pick up momentum there, and I've shown it, and honestly the only input I'm giving it is to try and turn the stick to control Kekul with the ball. I just don't understand that. I'm not entirely sure what happened with this challenge with Diego Rubio, so let's have a look, shall we? Let's see if there's anything about it. Yep, his foot is going through their player as their player's trying to control the ball away from Diego Rubio. And Diego Rubio doesn't actually touch the football though, so he has fouled their player, and here their player is able to go through Diego Rubio, as you can see there, and not be affected. He hasn't lost his balance or anything else. Now what happens here? Their player's foot goes through the football, as I've complained about mine doing. And I've said, you know, this is a sign that I'm not going to have this football. The game has decided that the AI has the football. Let's see if the game has decided that Diego Rubio has the football. It does. And in fact, as he kicks the West Brom player, as the kicks behind Diego Rubio, as Diego Rubio is miraculously allowed to have that ball. He falls over, allowing Diego Rubio free rein to have a shot on goal. I've noticed this with players who are very decent in the game, and as I said before, you know, Diego Rubio is very decent. So, but did you notice it with players who are of very good standard in the game? How did yours go? Not really sure about this. It looks like one of those speed boost things where their feet do very strange things. That kind of slide there with the right boot. You see it? As he's able to stretch and get that ball. Anderson hitting something. Did he hit their player? Yes, he did. Hit their player as the game said, you know what, they have that ball. There's a slide from Kekul up there. Kekul gets into the area. Looking to turn. Doesn't get the football. No contact with the football. He misses it entirely. And then, as he's got legging to Kekul, the foot through the football that we've seen a few times in this game for both teams, as the game programme decides that the West Brom man defends that situation. Did Gosling in fact get the football? Well, yeah, there's contact with the football as he puts his leg around in that fashion that I absolutely hate in PES. I hate this stance. I hate it so much. I hate the fact that they just sort of put their leg across the player running forward. I just think it's absolutely stupid. But he does contact the football. And as he puts his foot down, does he contact Origi? It looks like it. Looks like he does, yes. His heel is into Origi's boot there. And that's another thing that I'm not really keen on, is that the game lets challenges go like Gosling went in studs first. It lets challenges go like that. Semenoff goes to control it, and Gardner gets his foot there as Semenoff is trying to control it. Goes through the football. Semenoff doesn't fall over. Isn't affected by that. So it would seem. Turns around. Hits something.